Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Constant Contemplations. I'm your host, Jonathan Constant. Today is Tuesday, TV Tuesdays. We go over a television show, a documentary, just an interesting piece of television that I've seen lately. Today we're going over Tiger, the HBO documentary about Tiger Woods. And boy, was this fascinating. I'm sure that there isn't a person roaming this earth that doesn't know who Tiger Woods is and what he does. No, I'm kidding, of course. There's probably plenty of people who don't know who Tiger Woods is and what he does. But I can say with a certain amount of certainty, a lot of people know who Tiger Woods is. Even if they don't care about golf, they know who he is. And for good reason. Tiger Woods is a golf phenom, a sports legend, an icon in his sport. This man has won several majors and does so in spectacular fashion, unique fashion. He's made some incredible shots. So I was very interested when I saw the advertisements for Tiger. I wanted to see it. Maybe there's something I don't know. So let's talk about it. What happened in that documentary? Before I go into it, though, I will say I'm not a huge golf fan, but I do follow golf a bit. And the origins of my golf following start out in a very funny place. As a kid, growing up, I did not understand golf. Like many people. I was into the more flashier things like basketball, a little bit of football, stuff like that. The flashier sports with the big names and the huge athletes. Golf, it's got some little dudes. They're not physically imposing presences. So, of course, being shallow as a little kid, those are the things I was into. Basketball, football. Well, then one day I came across a game called Mario Golf. That's right. Mario Golf. The fat video game plumber actually got me into golf. That is where I learned all the rules. That is where I knew all the terms for golf, whether it's a birdie or if it's a bogey. I knew about, I learned a lot about the use of different clubs, what fairway means, what's a bunker, how to get out of a bunker, what club you use to get out of a bunker, all of that I learned from a video game called Mario Golf. After getting exposed to Mario Golf, I gained a new appreciation for the game of golf. Like I said initially, I did not have any respect for golfers. I'm like, what do? They hit a small ball with a club. They don't even really play against anybody directly. It's really them playing against themselves. Well, after playing Mario Golf and playing golf in video game form with a bunch of cheesy, kid-friendly characters, I realized the beauty of golf. And the beauty of golf is you are competing against yourself. It is a mental game. Not super physical, but physical enough. It can have a toll on your body. You can get injured playing golf. Now, I didn't experience any injuries, of course, because I was playing it on my Nintendo. But nevertheless, I gained some new respect for the game of golf. Thank you, Mario. Anyway, after playing Mario Golf, I didn't become a super fan, but I did start watching highlights, and every now and then, if it was on TV, I'd watch it a little bit. And I was fascinated with Tiger Woods. Some of the things Tiger Woods was doing. The man was and is a prodigy. Fast forward to the future, and here I am in 2020. I am excited about this documentary, and I learned quite a bit. Quite a bit. It was similar to the Last Dance in a way. I learned a lot about people I grew up having an eye on, but didn't really know the depth of the things they were going through. And I guess that's the point of a documentary. Anyway, so seeing Tiger grow up, that was incredibly interesting because he was obsessed with golf at a very young age. And I'm not talking 7, 8 years old, he picks it up. No, this kid, almost as early as he could walk, was holding a golf club. And that's in large part due to his father. Tiger Woods' relationship with his father was fascinating. The things you see in the media, whenever he's won a major or when he's at a tournament and he's hugging and kissing his father, that is, for the most part, true about their relationship when Tiger was growing up. The thing that the documentary revealed, though, which was amazing to me, is that just as much as Tiger loved his father, there was also this opposite effect as well. He didn't hate his father, but there was a lot of downside to their relationship as well. His father was very overbearing. Like his father was just this presence that was always there in his life, giving him advice. And a lot of times the advice that his father would give him may not have been something that he agreed with. And you can see as Tiger is becoming his own man, the differences that they began to have between them. So, wow, that was pretty fascinating. Also, the way Tiger's life was just constrained by his image, because Tiger was famous from a very early age. They showed archival footage of him being on TV at a young age, hitting a golf club and amazing people. So you can see that he had an image to uphold for a very long time. And the documentary showed the stress that put on him. Now, you may say, oh, boo-hoo, you're winning millions of dollars. Oh, how hard could this be? Just be a good human being, so on and so forth. No, you don't understand. And the documentary does kind of drive home the point that the weight of not making mistakes was heavy on Tiger's shoulders. And we're talking not just mistakes in his life, but just mistakes on the golf course. Across the board, Tiger had to be clean, pristine, and without flaw. And that's impossible. Humans are flawed. So, of course, it is to be expected that pressure will get to you, and eventually it will break you. And as we saw in the documentary, what was amazing was how that manifested in his life, how the pressure of being pristine eventually caused him to make several mistakes. Now, the other part of this documentary, going back to his father and the presence his father had in his life, it was astounding to see that his father, spoiler alert, he was a philanderer. His father was a serial cheater. Not something you knew if you were just casually watching him grow up like I did. So a lot of the habits that his father had kind of leaked onto him, and he started taking on some of those habits as well. The most fascinating stories have a rise and fall nature to them. And with Tiger, what was amazing to see was that In his story, it was both. It was a rise, it was a fall, and then it was a rise again. And after the documentary came out, we find out that he got in this terrible accident. So it's kind of a fall again. So his life is pretty interesting to watch, for sure. The other beautiful thing about it was that Tiger, a prodigy, grew up just being immediately great at golf. And the things he was able to do on a golf course, borderline miracle shots, shots that other golfers wouldn't dare take, he would take and nail to perfection. But when things got bad, it was almost like he had to rediscover himself and relearn how to play golf. And you would think once you master something, that's it. But with Tiger, he had to refine his skills. He couldn't just rest on being a prodigy, being talented. So the documentary showing him winning the last few majors that he won, which were more of a struggle than the early majors he won, that was also very fascinating. The work that he had to put into it, some of the things he had to change within himself to regain that number one status in the golf world. Yes, this was another home run by HBO. They tend to do really captivating documentaries and do them well. So yeah, I really enjoyed watching this documentary play out. The best documentaries put you inside the mind of the subjects that they're speaking on, and this documentary was no different. There's a portion in this documentary that goes over a very controversial time in Tiger Woods' life, and that was the time he got busted for having a bunch of mistresses. Yes, it's incredibly embarrassing for him, but unfortunately, being the public figure that he is, you can't tell his story without mentioning this very dark time in his life. That being said, I couldn't help but roll my eyes when some of the mistresses were being interviewed. But once I heard what they had to say, I kind of changed my mind about it. It was actually pretty valuable information that they had. They weren't just there gossiping and saying, well, he did this and he did that. You know, it wasn't that kind of thing. What was incredible about some of the things his mistresses had to say about their time with Tiger is that he just wanted to have a pressure-free, fun time without any strings attached, without any pressure to be perfect. He just wanted to relax. Sometimes he would be with them and he would just talk, which was fascinating to me because it's like, oh, what? You're married. You can't talk to your wife? You know, like what's going on? But once you realized the way he grew up, you can begin to understand kind of why he sought out these women and just so that he can sit and talk and relax and have no pressure on him. Because believe it or not, being married, there's pressure. There's pressure from your in-laws. There's pressure from your wife. There's pressure from your kids. And with Tiger, it was 100-fold because he had pressure from his job being a golfer. So it was totally understandable to desire being away from everything and yet still having a human interaction, but pressure-free human interaction. So now, once you watch that documentary, you kind of get an idea as to why he did some of the things that he did. His childhood was not a normal childhood. His adult life, not a normal adult life. So he's going to seek not normal ways to deal with these not normal circumstances. And it made him feel normal, the way he decided to cope with these things. remarkable. So, I know it sounds like I like everything, but there are things I hate. And on the next episode of TV Tuesdays, I'm finally going to give you something I actually disliked that I watched. But for now, I will just give you my recommendation. Watch Tiger. There aren't many in-depth looks to his life like that, so that was fun to watch. It was illuminating. It was educational. It was a little funny at times because of some of the things that he got himself into. And most of all, it was inspiring. Because much like Michael Jordan, you get to see what it takes to be the very best at what you do. And it's not just talent, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of hard work you got to do. All right, guys, so that was TV Tuesdays. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you take a look at Tiger. It's a great documentary. Check it out on HBO Max, and see you tomorrow for Wacky Wednesdays. It's going to be a good one, guys.